Welcome to Disney Cap, the magic of Disney, recapped in minutes. From classic tales to new adventures, we bring you the highlights, fun, and all things Disney. Subscribe now and relive the magic with us. The movie starts on the planet Krypton, where we see Superman as a small baby. At that time, his parents realize that Krypton is going to be destroyed, so they decide to send their son in a space capsule to Earth so he can live there and not perish with the planet. Krypton, Superman's dog, is very upset because he's going to another planet without him. However, Krypton runs as fast as he can and jumps into the capsule with Superman, traveling with him to Earth. Superman's father tells Krypton to always be his son's best friend and take care of him. Years pass, Superman grows up, becomes stronger than all humans, and develops superpowers. Krypton also has the same superpowers as Superman. Together, they defeat the villains in the city, fight crime, and live happily, never leaving each other's side. Later, we see Superman talking to a reporter named Lois Lane, and we learn that he loves her and wants to marry her. While talking to her, Krypton feels in danger and imagines that if Superman marries Lois, there will be no place for him, and Superman will spend all his time with Lois. Lois notices that Krypton is upset and tells Superman that Krypton will feel lonely and neglected if they get married. She advises him to find a friend for Krypton so they can play together and keep each other company. The story then shifts to a pet shop, where we meet a dog named Ace, who tells the other animals in the shop that his dream is to escape and go to a farm in the north with plenty of food, greenery, and fun things. A pig named PB gets excited and says she also wants to leave, while a turtle named Merton says she dreams of eating lots of lettuce and wants to escape too. However, a squirrel named Lulu is unimpressed and believes she can escape on her own. She shows them her invention, a device that will give her great power to escape, but she's waiting for the right moment to activate it. Meanwhile, Superman arrives with Krypton and ties him to a pole outside the shop, asking him to wait. Superman goes inside to look at the animals and choose one. During this time, Ace manages to open his cage and escape through a window. Outside, he bumps into Krypton, who is tied to the pole. Krypton asks Ace what he's doing, and Ace says he's escaping from prison. Krypton misunderstands and thinks Ace is a real criminal. Krypton frees himself and captures Ace, but Ace fights back, thinking Krypton is just a regular dog, unaware of his superpowers. After Ace's attempts to escape fail, the shopkeeper catches him and puts him back in his cage. Superman and Krypton return home but soon notice a large meteor heading toward their city. Upon closer inspection, they realize it's sent by a villain named Luthor. We see Luthor talking to his assistant, Mercy, explaining that this meteor is made of orange kryptonite. Unlike green kryptonite, which weakens Superman, the orange one grants immense superpowers. As Luthor speaks, Superman and Krypton arrive and confront him. Luthor throws the meteor toward the city, but Krypton flies quickly and stops it just in time. However, Luthor uses a ray to trap Superman and Krypton. The meteor falls again, but this time the Justice League, including Aquaman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Batman, arrive to help. Together, they capture Luthor and send the meteor back into space. However, we see a beam of light from the meteor heading toward a small rock, bringing it back to Earth. It's revealed that Lulu, the squirrel from the pet shop, is behind this. She tells the other animals that this is the moment she has been waiting for. Lulu explains that she used to work in Luthor's lab, where they experimented with all types of kryptonite. They discovered that green kryptonite weakens Superman, while orange kryptonite grants superpowers, but only to animals, not humans. Lulu recalls how Superman and Krypton freed all the animals from Luthor's lab, believing they were being tortured, but Lulu didn't want to leave. She explains that the orange kryptonite gives her superpowers, allowing her to escape her cage. However, the power causes a fire in the shop, trapping the other animals in their cages. They beg Lulu to help, but she refuses and says she wants them to die. Lulu escapes with a cat named Whiskers, leaving the others behind. The animals manage to escape using their newfound powers. Ace discovers he has super endurance, PB can change her size, Merton gains super speed, and the squirrel Chip can shoot electricity from his hands. Together, they escape the shop. Meanwhile, Superman is getting ready to propose to Lois, upsetting Krypton, who wanted to spend the day watching a movie with him. Superman leaves, and Krypton listens to music to drown out his sadness. As Superman steps out, Lulu confronts him. Saying she's here for revenge. Superman looks surprised because, of course, it's very small compared to him, but she pulls out a green kryptonite crystal and places it in front of him. At that moment, Superman feels his strength weakening, unable to stand on his feet, while evil Lulu keeps hitting him and throws him out of the apartment. but she continuously exposes him to kryptonite radiation so he can't move. Superman keeps calling for Krypto, but Krypto is listening to loud music and can't hear anything. When Krypto finally finishes his music, he finds a piece of cheese in the apartment, eats it, and comments on how delicious it tastes. Then he notices the apartment is destroyed and realizes Superman is in danger. He tries to fly to rescue him, but is shocked to find he can't fly and falls to the ground. Confused, he doesn't feel any strength in his body. When Lulu sees him, she reveals that she put kryptonite in the piece of cheese he ate to strip him of all his powers. She then takes Superman and leaves for a distant place. Krypto feels sad and knows Superman is in danger but doesn't know what to do. He runs everywhere searching for him until he finds the place where Ace, PB, and Chip are staying. When they see him, they are excited because they know Krypto, Superman's superdog, is there. Except for Ace, who is annoyed with him because Ace tried to hit Krypto before but failed. This time, Ace tries to hit him again and is surprised that Krypto can't fight back. Krypto explains that he has lost all his powers and that his loyal friend Superman is in danger and needs their help. However, they all refuse to help, and no one agrees to do anything. Ace tells him they are heading to the Northern Farm. Krypto tells them there's no such thing as a Northern Farm and asks what the farm is called, where it is, or who owns it, but no one can answer. Krypto asks to speak with Ace privately and realizes that Ace made up the story about the farm to give the others hope to keep them going and motivated to leave the store. Ace offers to help Krypto rescue Superman in exchange for keeping his secret. Ace agrees and convinces his friends to help Krypto. Meanwhile, Lulu goes to a place filled with squirrels and shows them on TV the news about Luthor being arrested and sent to a prison on a remote island, a highly secure facility designed for dangerous individuals like him. Lulu then releases orange kryptonite radiation on the squirrels, giving them superpowers. They become her team, and she assigns them the mission of helping her free Luthor from prison. While they are talking, Batman arrives, but Lulu orders the squirrels to attack him, and they manage to tie him up. As she leaves, she encounters Wonder Woman, but Lulu is much stronger and ties her up too. Even when Flash, Aquaman, and the entire Justice League arrive, they can't stop Lulu and her team, who manage to capture and imprison them all. Krypto and his group arrive, and he tells them that everyone must find their strongest weapon, just as Krypto has his Sunpaw Punch, his most powerful move. This involves flying to the sun, absorbing its energy, and returning at maximum speed to strike someone. However, the problem with this move is that it might kill Krypto himself, which is why he has never tried it before. After their discussion, the group becomes motivated and rushes to confront Lulu and her team. However, none of them are trained in using their superpowers, so Lulu and her team easily defeat them. Krypto decides to attack Lulu even without his superpowers, but she stops him effortlessly. She tells him he is just a dog with no place in Superman's life now that Superman is marrying Lois. She throws him with all her strength to the Hall of Justice, where he loses consciousness. When Krypto wakes up, he sees Ace and the others, who are happy he is alive. However, Krypto feels sad and depressed, telling them he wants to be alone. He goes to the roof of the Hall of Justice to sit by himself, but Ace follows him to talk. Ace assures him that they are all there for him and will help him rescue Superman. He tells Krypto that if he once had a loyal friend, now he has 4 loyal friends. He shares his own story, explaining that he once lived with a little girl he loved deeply. One day, the girl was about to fall down the stairs, and when Ace tried to save her, his teeth left marks on her hand. Her parents thought Ace had bitten her and kicked him out of the house. Ace's story deeply moves Krypto, and they agree to work together to rescue Superman. They deduce that Lulu will head to the island prison to free Luthor. They board the Justice League's invisible jet and fly to the island. However, something hits the jet with great force, causing it to crash. Ace uses his durability to protect them. They discover that the culprit is Whiskers, the cat, who explains that Lulu saved her life and now she owes her. Whiskers' superpower is launching missiles and Whiskers' superpower is launching missiles and bombs at them. The group hides in a car, but Krypto senses that Whiskers is getting closer. If they stay in the car, it will explode, killing them all. Krypto devises a plan to ensure everyone's survival. By following his instructions, they manage to use Whiskers' bombs against her, trapping them in a box. Chip uses his lightning power to strike the box, and Krypto tells the group that if they continue to fight together as a team, they will become very strong. They then head together to the prison. Meanwhile, Lulu reaches the prison and, with her team, destroys all the guards. Krypto and his group arrive, alive, but Lulu uses her power to lift a massive iron disc and suspend it above Crypto, threatening to drop it on him at any moment to kill him. She orders Crypto's team to surrender and enter cells willingly. Crypto tells Ace not to listen to her, but Ace explains that he will do it to protect Crypto. Each member of the team enters a cell. Lulu then goes to free Luthor, telling him she has been waiting for this moment for a long time and that he will always be her teacher and mentor. She shows him pictures of the Justice League trapped in cages and tells him she has achieved the dream he always wanted. After freeing him, Luthor betrays her, pushing her into a cell and locking her inside. The cell is very strong and Lulu cannot escape. Luthor did that to take all the credit for himself and not let the squirrel be the one in front of people to achieve what he dreams of and destroy the Justice League on her own. He gets his assistant out and escapes from prison. After that, one of the super squirrels with Lulu uses a guard robot to break her out of the cell. Lulu tells Crypto that the entire Justice League will die in less than half an hour to get her out of the cell. Lulu tells Crypto that the entire Justice League will die in less than half an hour because the cages they are in will move into space. After that, she leaves them and says she is going to take revenge on Superman and on Luthor who tricked her. But why take revenge on Superman now, Lulu? Anyway, Crypto keeps feeling like he failed to protect his owner and failed to heed his father's advice and doesn't know what to do, surrendering to the situation. But PB tells him there must be hope to get out of there, and Crypto tells her it's impossible to escape because the prison is very strong and he no longer has any superpowers. Suddenly, PB asks him how he is flying then, and Crypto is surprised to find his powers have returned. He manages to escape the cell easily and frees all his friends. They are excited to join him to save Superman and the Justice League, but Crypto surprises them by saying he doesn't want anyone to come along because he's afraid for them. They've already done their part, and he doesn't want to put any of them in danger. He leaves them and flies to Lulu's location. At that time, we see Lulu reaching the company where Luthor is and trapping him in a cage like the Justice League, saying this is the punishment for a deceptive person like him. Crypto arrives outside and starts fighting all the super squirrels guarding the company since his powers have returned. He enters the company, captures Lulu, and jumps with her. A fight ensues between them, but Lulu manages to press the button, causing all the cages to move towards space. Crypto watches the rocket launching into space, wanting to save them, but Lois arrives in a helicopter to cover the events happening now. At that moment, Lulu destroys the helicopter Lois is in and tells Crypto he has two choices: save his owner, who is heading to space, or save Lois, whom his owner is about to marry. Crypto doesn't know what to do, but suddenly Ace appears with the whole gang, telling Crypto they came to help him. Crypto asks them to save the Justice League while he goes to save Lois. Indeed, Ace and Chip head to the rocket, with PB helping by enlarging herself, and Merton runs at top speed to push them toward the rocket. Chip uses lightning to create a large opening and frees the Justice League from their cages. When they fall from a very high place, PB enlarges herself greatly to absorb the impact, allowing them to land without harm. Meanwhile, Crypto manages to stop the helicopter carrying Lois and saves her. Then another fight breaks out between him and Lulu, but Crypto is stronger and manages to strike her, throwing her far away. However, Lulu picks up the kryptonite stone that gave her power and uses it again, but this time she merges it with her body particles. Lulu grows extremely large, becoming gigantic, and her body is entirely made of fire. At this moment, the entire Justice League stands against her, along with Crypto, Ace, and the Super Pets. They all attack her together, but no attack affects her. Everyone tries to use their superpowers, but nothing works. Lulu manages to chain Superman with green kryptonite, greatly weakening his power. At that moment, Crypto decides to sacrifice himself and use the solar paw punch. Ace tries to stop him, telling him not to do it because it might kill him, but Crypto doesn't care. He flies to the sun, returns with maximum power, charges, and strikes Lulu with the punch, creating a massive energy burst that destroys Lulu completely. The energy then heads toward Crypto to finish him off, but Ace runs toward him and stands in front of him to absorb all the energy. Thanks to Ace's durability, he remains unharmed. When Crypto regains consciousness, he thanks Ace for saving him and the rest of the gang for being there when he needed them. He runs to Superman, who is talking to Lois. This time, Crypto is not upset because he sees his owner happy. Superman tells him he is the best friend in the entire world. Later, we see each of the Super Pets paired with their favorite Justice League member, whose powers match theirs. For example, Crypto is like Superman. Chip gets a Green Lantern ring and mask, PB wears Wonder Woman's outfit, Merton wears Flash's suit and runs like him, and Ace becomes Batman's dog, riding with him in the car. Thus, all the Super Pets unite to fight evil together, and that's how today's story ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.